Hello. Today I am going to talk on a very basic point of nervous system. Neuroanatomy, nervous system. At first, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The nervous system has two anatomical subdivision: central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Again, central nervous system can be divided into two parts: anatomical, brain and spinal cord. The brain has several parts. Number one, cerebellum, then midbrain, then pons, then medulla oblongata, and finally cerebellum. Cerebrum and cerebellum. The brain has several parts: cerebrum, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and cerebellum. This cerebrum, if we try to draw diagram of brain in such a way, this and this is the cerebrum, number one, cerebrum. This is the midbrain, number two, midbrain. Pons, number three. This is the pons. Number four, medulla oblongata. This is the medulla oblongata, number four. And the cerebellum, number five. This is the cerebellum, which are placed posteriorly. So this is number 5. So from top to bottom, cerebrum, midbrain, pons, medulla oblongata, and behind the pons and medulla oblongata there is cerebellum. So this is the first part. This is called forebrain. Fore means front, forebrain. And this is the middle part, so it is called midbrain. And this is called hind, that is posterior part of the brain. So hindbrain. Forebrain, midbrain, and hindbrain. Forebrain, also called prosencephalon. Prosencephalon. Forebrain, also called prosencephalon. Midbrain, also called mesencephalon. Mesencephalon. The hindbrain, also called rhombencephalon. Rhombencephalon. So cerebrum, forebrain, also called prosencephalon, midbrain, also called mesencephalon, and the hindbrain, consists of pons, medulla oblongata and cerebellum, also called rhombencephalon. Then the forebrain or the prosencephalon has two parts. Number one, telencephalon, telencephalon, and diencephalon, diencephalon. Again, I repeat, the prosencephalon or forebrain has two parts, the telencephalon and diencephalon. The cerebrum, the cerebral cord has two parts. The cortical part, here the cell body are present. This is called cerebral cortex. This cerebral cortex is called telencephalon. The cortical part, cortex. The cortical part is called telencephalon. And the deeper part of the forebrain or prosencephalon is called diencephalon. So this is diencephalon and this is telencephalon. So again, brain has three parts: forebrain or prosencephalon, midbrain or mesencephalon, and hindbrain or rhombencephalon. The forebrain or prosencephalon has two parts: telencephalon, which is the superficial cortical part, and diencephalon is the deeper part of forebrain or mesencephalon. Now, the spinal cord. The spinal cord is the downward projection from the brain of central nervous system. So we will talk again about the spinal cord in details. Now, the peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system can be divided in various ways. We can divide in such a way: sensory system and motor system of peripheral nervous system. Sensory system can be divided into general sensory and special sensory. Number one, general sensory and special sensory. General sensation are the modalities which are exerted or receive input coming from any organ, and special sensation are those sensations coming from a special organ, like a special sensation like vision coming from eye, olfaction means sense of smelling coming from nose, and hearing coming from ear, auditory system. General sensation. The general sensation can be divided again into two groups. Somatic, number one, general somatic. Number two, general visceral. The general sensation coming from soma, that means the coming from body, is called general somatic sensation. And general visceral sensation means the sensation coming from viscera, like GI tract, abdominal viscera, such as pain. Usually, the visceral pain are dull and poorly localized, whereas the somatic sensation, somatic pain, which are acute, and well localized. There are other somatic general sensation like touch. Touch may be fine touch or crude touch. Somatic sensation are fine touch, crude touch, pain, temperature, and 2-point discrimination. Now, the motor system. The motor system of peripheral nervous system can be divided into two groups or two subheadings. Number one, somatic, and number two, autonomic. The autonomic motor system of peripheral nervous system again can be divided into two group: sympathetic system, and another is parasympathetic system. Sympathetic system consists of adrenergy system, which act in emergency situation like fight or flight. When you are in a critical situation, your sympathetic system will be activated and will serve for you to save from the critical situation. And number two, the parasympathetic system. The parasympathetic system act in your resting phase, rest, digest, and sleep. In this condition, like this, when you are in resting phase, the parasympathetic system work. Now, the somatic motor part of the peripheral nervous system. The movement of your locomotor system, like I am writing here and I am speaking here. This is the function of the somatic part of motor system of peripheral nervous system. So in short, again, the neuroanatomy basic part, nervous system, two group, central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is two part, brain and spinal cord. The brain has three part, forebrain, that is cerebellum, midbrain and hindbrain, consisting of pons, medulla oblongata and cerebellum. And peripheral nervous system, two parts, sensory and motor. The sensory has two parts, general sensation and visceral sensation. Motor part, two parts, somatic and autonomic. Autonomic has again two parts, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So it's all about the classification of nervous system. Thank you for your patience hearing.